As far as Davis-Monthan is concerned, we have funding in it in the defense bill, which, by the way, is not done yet. We still have not got agreement with the House bill. I hope we can get it done when we get back. Keeps the A-10 in business, and I'll be glad to talk about the fact that the Air Force does not have a replacement and said their only replacement is a B-1 bomber or a F-35. B-1 bomber costs some horrendous amount per operating hour, and a F-35 costs 10 times the amount that a A-10 does. And so until they have an adequate replacement, then, and by the way, A-10s are now over there. They're flying in Iraq and Afghanistan, so it's not as if they are antiques. And we have some military construction funds that's much needed out there. And but the A-10 over time, we'll be glad to see it being phased out. I'm not glad, but I'd be willing to agree. But for the sake of the defense of the country, it has to be have an adequate replacement for it, unless you believe we're not going to be involved in any more conflicts where close air support is necessary. I think the world, in the words of Henry Kissinger, has more crises than at any time since the end of World War II. And that was what Madeleine Albright said, and that's what Zbig Brzezinski said, and every respected person on both sides of the aisle that we had before our committee.
In your mind, how long do you think the A-10 has?
It's not, we've got B-52s that have been flying since the 1950s. I think the most important factor in determining that is what is an adequate replacement for the A-10. Because those of us who study these things believe that there will be a requirement for a close air support aircraft, at least of the capability of the A-10. And I don't feel like sending our young men and women into combat without the best possible close air support capability that we have. And that happens to be the A-10. There's no one who argues with that. The Air Force argument is, well, there's not going to be that much requirement for it. We don't want to. We have to spend more money on the F-35, all of that. And those of us, again, just disagree. I predict to you now that sooner or later there will be more United States military involvement in Iraq and in Iraq, because ISIS is not going away, and we are gradually increasing our involvement in Iraq against ISIS while we are losing. We are losing. And so we need the A-10, in my view, to combat a clear and present danger of the rise of ISIS throughout the Middle East.